What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm going to talk about people who become famous, people who become well known without putting in the work, without deserving it. So let's get to it. So there's so many talented people. There's so many people with gifts and God-given talents and stuff like that I've seen on TikTok, Instagram, social media. We have so many talented people, but why is it that you have certain people who are not as talented, people who are not as gifted or skilled becoming so viral? So, for example, you have I Show Speed and you also have Kai Cenat. Now, I'm not knocking on their success or anything like that, but I do have a right to say that they did not deserve to have that level of success, because I Show Speed, if you look at his background, if you actually observe on how he even got famous, like how the fuck did he went from living with his parents, gaming all fucking day, screaming and and embarrassing himself, being a fucking annoying and shit, to singing at the World Cup with over 30 million followers on Instagram and being famous, and he gets to travel. That's basically his lifestyle. All he does is travel. And then you got Kai Cenat, who, again, I don't know too much of his background, but he's basically a streamer. And if you look at his videos, he makes videos nothing but bullshit. He just like I Show Speed, he's obnoxious. He's making an embarrassment out of himself, and all the shit he's making is useless. It has no meaning to it. But yet, he's getting so many recognition, so much fame, money, success. And these two people, they're under 25 years old for both of them. While you have other people who are very gifted, talented, they work hard, and they have a lot of influence, but yet they're not getting the same recognition as I Show Speed or Connect, or what's his name? What the fuck is his name? See, I don't even know his name. That's how I know, like, these people, they're not really about shit, man. Connect, Kai Cenat. Because if you look at I Show Speed, like, he's basically a gamer, and all he does is yell, being annoying and shit like that. And if you look at his YouTube channel, all his videos, he posts nothing that makes sense. It's a bunch of random shit. It's a bunch of degenerate shit, And it's the type of shit that kids watch, And Chauncey One on his YouTube channel, he actually exposed this. He exposed I Show Speed on why he does not deserve to be famous like that. And there's a lot of reasons why. Same thing with Kai Cenat, is because either they have a lot of dirt on them, either they've done some bullshit behind closed doors, they've done some really bad things behind closed doors in order for them to get fame. They have certain connections to where they're gonna do something that's very fucked up behind closed doors just for them to get fame. People want to say it's sacrifices, rituals, where the fuck, or child trafficking. Who knows? I'm not accusing them. I'm just saying. I've heard about that. It could also be that they have connections, like possibly their families, or they're inherited a lot of money and they use that for them to build their fame up, which I kind of in denial of that, because if you look at the backgrounds of I Show Speed and Kai Cenat, they didn't really came from wealthy backgrounds like that, And out of everyone, how the fuck are these two able to be famous and well known? You have so many people who have more gifts and talents than them, who put themselves out there more than these two. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand that. Yeah, fucking I Show Speed singing the World Cup, and he can't even fucking sing. He's using a fucking auto tune. But you have other talented singers I personally know and I've seen on social media. How come they're not doing the World Cup? It makes no fucking sense, man. So without a doubt, these people pushed out an agenda to dumb the collective down, and current and future generations down as well too, because if you look at all their videos, they post nothing but bullshit. They post nothing but shit that doesn't make sense, shit that rots the brain, and shit that no one will fucking watch. Even I would not let my kids watch their fucking videos if I ever had kids. Even if kids were to watch their videos, it will rot their fucking brain, because all they do is scream, yell, do random shit, doing sexual acts, You got Actual Speed doing a sexual act towards a fucking robot. But yeah, he's famous, right? But yeah, they let kids watch his shit. You got they post the most random shit that doesn't make fucking sense. It's degenerate shit, you know? I even tried watching their videos, both of them, and I can't watch this shit for a full 5 minutes because it's just too overstimulating. There's so much bullshit going on at once, and I can't really detect what's their purpose. What the fuck do they do? And even then, they have all this fame and influence, but they're not really doing anything to change this world. They're just perpetuating the same bullshit. So what the fuck are they even out there for? You know? And I know exactly why. Because Chauncey won on his YouTube channel, and based on other shit I've studied and researched, the reason why they and it's not just ISO Speed or ISO or Kaisenet, is other influencers as well that have no reasons or purpose of being here, is because the government or the higher powers or the higher ups that rule this world, they use these people as puppets for them to promote a lot of bullshit, to promote a lot of degenerate shit, for them to perpetuate a lot of toxicity within the collective. They want to dumb the human mind down. This is why we have a rise in AI, we have a rise in social media, we have gender wars going on, we have transgenders wars going on, we have fucking all this shit. If you look at these cartoon movies that kids used to watch back in on older generations up until now, like for example, you see like movies like SpongeBob, you see movies like other cartoon shows like that. They have a lot of sexual acts on these shows, on these movies. I've seen the movie SpongeBob just to observe it, and they have a lot of sexual events going on at that movie. I was actually shocked. I'm like, holy shit, like this shit is damn near like a grown adult comedy movie, but they let kids watch this shit. There's so many sexual acts about this. This is not right. You know, I feel off about that movie. So it's insane. I watch a lot of movies, but it's just insane. Like movies now are completely different. Especially, I'm specific for kids shows. Kids shows today and kids movies to hear compared to back then. There's a lot of there's just a lot of fuck shit going. There's a lot of sexual activity going on. So it makes sense that you got Actual Speed doing sexual acts towards a fucking robot. So, and the government, higher powers, they use people like Actual Speed, Kaisenet, and other influencers to promote a lot of bullshit. So these people, they're not making their own content. They're not doing things on their own. They're not allowed to do things on their own. They're not allowed to make their own content, because if they were to do that, then the government or the higher powers, the same people that gave them fame, influence, and money, these will be the same people to bring them down, because they have the power to do that, because these are the same people that bought them up. This is why you see people get shot, people get assassinated, people go missing. It's because of that. You see famous celebrities go to jail, they go to prison, they get missing. It's because of that. Not all of them, but most of them. You know, rumors start popping up, and not only that, but most influencers, you got like fucking what's his name? I know it's funny. Tate. You got I think I can't say his full name. I think his name is Tate. The bald dude who used to be a boxer or a UFC fighter. Tate, he's a child trafficker along with his brother or his sibling, whatever. He's a child trafficker. He's a woman abuser and shit like that. He got arrested multiple times because of that. So a lot of people, a lot of influencers, don't get it twisted. They all have a lot of dirt on their name. They have a lot of bullshit on their background. They're not being famous by luck. They're not being famous and successful by skill or talent. They had this shit handed to them because they did some shit behind closed doors, basically. And not only that, but they're controlled. So they're not using their own mind. They're not using their own brain. They're not controlling their own lives. They're being used as a script purposely, and they're aware of that. They don't have as much freedom as we think they do. They don't. They're forced to do things that will satisfy the higher powers, the government, the people that are in control, who wants to dumb the people down. And they've been doing this shit for a long ass time. This is where you get your celebrities from. This is why you see people like Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj, all these fucking females, they talk about nothing but degenerate shit. They talk about nothing but being a hoe, being a whore, using men. I think either Meg Thee Stallion or Cardi B, one of them so used to drug men at the strip club and rob them. So you got criminals who are influencers. That's the reality of it. So what the fuck is going on? So I go more into detail about this, but I feel like most people already know. I mean, most people don't know actually, because a lot of people are still into them. A lot of people still talk about them in a good way. I'm like, no, like these people, there's something off about these people. If I were ever to be famous or to be well known like them without having dirt on my name, without doing some fuck shit that they did, I would not suggest, I would not, what's the word? I will not be with them. I will not hang with them. I'll be nowhere near them. I will not acquaint myself with them. I will not befriend them. No, like I'll stay the fuck away from them, because most likely they done a lot of dirt behind closed doors. They have no purpose. They have no real skill or influence. Not doing anything to change the world. You know, most of these influencers, if you look at a pattern, all they promote is sex, drugs, crime, and damaging the human body. You see where I'm getting at? So this whole world basically is an illusion. So that's all I gotta say. Have a good one. Peace.